Now, let's talk a little bit about some grading policies. You'll see here the 24/7 rule. If you're dissatisfied with a grade on any assignment, whether it be one of those major papers, the final, writing portfolio, or any of the daily assignments, you must follow the following procedure. You must wait at least 24 hours from receiving the final grade back before a grade review. This gives you time to disengage, kind of separate yourself and let it stew a little bit. Maybe you think about some aspects you didn't think about before reaching out for a grade appeal. Also, you have to submit some type of grade appeal or grade appointment with me within 7 calendar days, including the weekends, because we're on such a short, condensed time frame, after your assignment has been returned. So I built this policy in for those situations in which it may be the end of the semester and a grade is not looking so good in the course, and then someone's trying to appeal a paper from the first 3 weeks of class. The idea is you need to wait enough time to be able to calm down and separate yourself from the grade and the assignment, but implement enough time to reach out to me before the end of the class in order for a grade appeal to be effective. All of this is for your benefit, right? So that's a standing rule. All grade reviews are done through appointment. So if you have a question about a grade or something like that, you're going to find that I give you copious edits and feedback in your assignments, in your written assignments that you can refer to. But if you do want to grade something or review a grade or talk about something, you can always set up an office hour appointment or let me know by email. Say, for instance, you get a grade you weren't anticipating on one of the major papers, and you want more information about how it was graded. Feel free to email me at least 24 hours after that grade was published for your review, but within 7 calendar days, and we'll schedule an appointment and we'll talk about it. Late work, absolutely non-negotiable, unequivocally, I will not accept late work. It's just not happening. It's something that it's hard and fast with me. I do not accept late work unless there is some extenuating circumstances that, you reach out to me. I am a human being. I understand life happens, especially if you have kids or you have a job and something has happened and you need to, the income and family comes first, right? I get that completely. I don't accept late work. And in this class in particular, I don't accept late work in daily or major assignments because I am designing this course to give you plenty of time to plan ahead, plenty of time to schedule certain things on your personal calendar, giving you time to plan or plot where you can do this assignment and that assignment within the scope of a week. I get that certain things happen, and if they do, reach out to me and I'll try my best to work with you. But for instance, a major paper or the final writing portfolio, the day that's due, you will have had probably a week to 2 weeks ahead of time to know that specific due date, that specific due time in order to submit that paper. So I won't accept any late assignments, especially for technological related issues. There are myriad resources available for you to use. So again, reach out to me if you have any questions about that policy. If you do have a disability of any sort, whether that be physical, learning, psychiatric, vision, hearing, otherwise, if you need any type of accommodation whatsoever in the course because of a disability, feel free to contact the Disability Support Services. In fact, we highly encourage you do so. It's the Office of Disability Support Services. Their office in itself is located on the second floor of the Ethel K. Smith Library, but I'm operating on the assumption that you all are online students. So you can contact their office by email here or by phone. All conversations are completely confidential, but if you do have an accommodation or you need some type of accommodation in the class based on a disability, it's confidential and What they do is when you meet with them, they take your information, they take the documentation that you provide to support the need for such accommodation, and reach out to your instructors about the accommodations that are needed so that we can provide them for you. I can understand and appreciate that in an online class, there are probably various different accommodations that may be needed. And so I really want you to be successful. That's the ultimate goal. And so if, tapping into accommodations is needed, I highly encourage you to do so. Religious holidays, this is something else that I really encourage. If there is a conflict between a due date for an assignment in this class, or if there is a period of time that you may not be available due to religious observance, let me know in the first week of class. The schedule is posted in the syllabus. All of our major paper deadlines are already in the syllabus, and we will hold to those. If you have some type of conflict because of a religious observance, reach out to me by email, and I'll be happy to work with you on that. Academic integrity. What I've done here is posted some information about plagiarism in the University Honor Code, and also documentation of your papers. And so something we'll talk about in depth in this class is the concept of plagiarism, whether that be intentional or unintentional, not intentional. We will cover different scenarios and different situations where you see that manifest itself. And one thing that I just want to make a strong point about up front is that plagiarism in any form is absolutely unacceptable. It can result in expulsion from the university. In the real world, it can result in litigation. It can result in being sued. It's a very important concept to be aware of. The implications stemming thereof are severe. And so we will discuss this. Part of the class content is understanding what plagiarism actually is and how you fall susceptible to plagiarizing. That has to do with, citing your sources, giving appropriate credit to the sources of information when it's due. And so the main thing here is the University Honor Code dictates that you do not plagiarize, you do not try to claim anyone's content or intellectual property as your own. If you are found to be plagiarizing, I'm completely transparent. If I find anybody plagiarizing, I submit your case directly to the dean. I go straight to the dean and let them know of your respective college and let them know, Dr. Hahn, for instance, if there are any instances of plagiarism, I try to work with you to make sure that, I try to understand it may not be intentional, it may be a mistake, but through the assignments that we do in this class and through the major papers that we complete in this class, we will practice against this. We will make sure to mitigate any instance whereby you may fall susceptible to plagiarism. I do want to point out we do have a writing center on campus, and they operate by in-person and also virtual appointments. So if you're writing a paper or an assignment, or you just need some extra help on your writing, feel free to contact them and schedule an appointment. They can meet with you via Zoom to go over your content, which is really exciting. Documentation of papers, I addressed that a little bit. We will talk about this as we learn more about this content. You may already be familiar with citing sources. What I find is that unequivocally 99% of the time people do not know how to adequately do this. It has to do with adhering to a particular style guide, which we will talk about. So as we learn more about this in class, you will know exactly when you are documenting papers correctly or not, when you're citing citations or integrating sources into your work correctly or not. We will talk about that in depth. What are some forms of assistance you have? Office hours. Anyone who knows me knows I love working with my students. I want to meet you. I want to work one-on-one with you. In fact, that's an expectation of this course, is that we're going to get to know each other. All office hours appointments are after 5 o'clock p.m. by appointment. Email me to do so, or to set up or schedule that. I will also offer various drop-in office hours. If you just happen to have a small question about something, or in the middle of a module, if you need some clarification, I will offer an hour block wherein you can drop in and ask me any question you may have. Academic Resource Center. this office houses academic advising and career and development. All of that is kind of a central focus of the Academic Resource Center. Even though you're an online student, you can still reach out to them for some basic information. They can help you not with advising because Dr. Hahn is your advisor, but they can help guide you in the right direction if you need some specific academic resources, some study resources, some time management resources, note-taking resources. It's a little bit different than disability services where you may, for instance, if you need a note taker for a disability reason, you would go to disability service. The Academic Resource Center can provide you some tips for how to best take notes or for how to best study, things of that nature. You all know Dr. Hahn by now, and we all know she is a fabulous human being, and she makes me smile every time I see her. She's your academic advisor, so if you have any academic questions or you find you're struggling in this class, you can reach out to Dr. Hahn by email, c.hahn@wingate.edu. If you're in the area, you can meet with her in person. She is an absolutely wonderful resource for you. She cares about students. I think the focal point of her career is being student-centric. She loves students, and she wants to make sure that you're successful in every way possible. Please reach out to her if you need her. I understand also that in this time of post-COVID, and we're still somewhat in COVID, and even COVID aside, sometimes there's other medical issues that are there, other life situations that are there that, cause us to, we may suffer depression, anxiety, or any other mental health related types of implications. We do offer counseling services at the university, and they do also meet to a certain extent virtually. They can help liaison with resources in your area if you need it. If you are suffering from any type of mental health, anxiety type issue, I do encourage you to reach out to them because they are a good resource. They're here to work with you. They're here to work with the insurance that you may have. Your tuition dollars also, supports their office and their functioning. And so tap into their resources. They're available for you if you need it. And of course, our Canvas site, wherein I've provided tons of resources for you if you need it. Links to this, links to that. I will upload documents, a study guide, etc. Finally, at the end of the syllabus, you will see a tentative schedule where each module is presented and the topics that will be discussed, pertinent due dates here. For instance, the syllabus contract that was due on the first day of class, add drop period. The readings, I'm pretty much always going to tell you to refer to Canvas because I'm going to change those as we go through the week. But at least you can take a gander at this syllabus. You can look at what types of materials you will be covering, and then you can see already the major due dates for papers. For instance, the first major paper is going to be due on April 3rd by 5 o'clock p.m. The second paper is going to be due April 17th. By 5 o'clock p.m. And finally, the final paper and portfolio due finals week here. I also put the withdrawal deadline, which is April 22nd, right here. So if you feel like for whatever reason that you need to withdraw with a grade of W, which means it shows up as a W on your transcript, then you need to let your academic advisor, Dr. Hahn, know by 4/22, have a conversation with them. First, have a conversation with me. Talk to me first. There may be something we can do. There may be some resources I can offer you, some extra credit that I sometimes offer for students taking initiative to do well. If you find that your grade may be suffering, talk to me and let me know before you decide to withdraw from the class. But I do definitely want to let you know that withdrawal deadline. That's the date you need to withdraw by. So if you have an F by 4/22 and you do not withdraw, that F will remain on your permanent record. Whatever grade you have in the class will be the grade that stands on the official record. And we don't want anything like that to happen. So reach out to me and then to your academic advisor. I think that covers most of the concepts of the syllabus. I'm going to post another short video about the Canvas site, kind of pointing you to some various resources. And then the only other thing to do would be to discuss the introduction to academic writing, and that will conclude the first module. you will have an opportunity to introduce yourself, and there will be a small writing assignment due. So this is more or less just making sure that you're comfortable with the class, making sure you vocalize any questions you may have, and to make sure we're all on the same page about the grades, the assignments, and the policies. Reach out to me if you have any questions at all.